went to seminary, there was no course given on preaching to cars. But these are different times in which we find ourselves. The country and the world has not experienced anything like this in 100 years. As I thought about our experience as a body of believers and as the body of the human family, today I was put in mind of a story, an event in my own life that I only know because it was told to me, not because I have any memory of it. I was about 2 or 3 years old, and one day our neighbor, Bob Spencer, appeared at the back door of our home. My mother came to the door, looked at Bob, and then looked down at what he was carrying under his arm. It was me. Bob was plowing his field, and as he was running the tractor, he just happened to look up at the road, which is elevated a few feet above his farm. There was a road about as busy as this one here when he saw little 2-year-old Michael trying to pick up the line off the middle of the road. Here he was, making a beeline for the road, picking me up under his arm and delivering me home to my mother. You can imagine the shock, the surprise, and the horror that she experienced over the fact that she did not know her son was missing, and the circumstances that led to our neighbor delivering me to the door. The most precious thing in her life, I like to think that because I was the first of 4 children, so I think that there should be some seniority. The most precious thing in her life, her young child, was missing. She didn't know it, and he was rescued from certain disaster by someone who was attentive to what was going on. It is not an exaggeration to say that at this moment, because of this pandemic, we are all put in mind of the most important, the most precious things, life itself, love, the ability to stand outdoors and enjoy the beautiful sunshine, and give thanks to God for the creation. And perhaps even now, most importantly, our attention is focused upon the care, the respect, the dignity, the awesome miracle that each and every human being, each human life is. We were created in the image and likeness of God Himself. Like you, I have been glued to the media and listening, whether I choose to or not, reports, numbers, personal experiences, dire warnings, the extent to which is a reflection of the true reality. In some ways, none of us knows. But as people of faith, we know we have not been, nor will we ever be, abandoned by the one who gave us life and breath, called us into being, gave us a purpose, which is to come into the fullness of our understanding of what it means to be sons and daughters, children of the living God. This is not simply a virus that is assaulting the body. It is something that is deeply affecting us at the core of our very existence. According to medical authorities and reports, those of us in my age category and older seem to be more susceptible and more vulnerable to the effects of this virus. But let's not kid ourselves. Everybody on the planet today is affected by the presence of this invisible enemy. I don't know why it's here. I don't know why it is so pervasive. But I do know this, that God has called us to be attentive to Him. Perhaps the shock and horror and surprise that we are experiencing puts us in mind of what is ultimately of value and importance. The most important things in life are emerging, and the least important things in life are falling away. You and I were given life and breath and health in order to bear witness to and glorify the God who gave us our own being. This is a time for us not only to be put in mind of that truth, but to live it. To be bearers of His light. How do we do that? By being attentive, like my neighbor, the farmer, Bob Spencer. To be observant to the needs and the concerns of those around us, and to be aware that nothing in this world, height, depth, principalities, powers, famine, nakedness, sword, coronavirus, or any other kind of virus shall ever separate us from the love of God in Jesus Christ, unless we allow it to. How could that be? That could be if we allow our attention to be focused only on this earth and what's happening at this level, and not understand that it has greater significance than just whether you or I live or die. The fact of the matter is, we're all going to breathe our last at some time. I don't want it to be now, but I don't have a choice. That's in God's hands. The choice I do have, and so does every living human being, whether or not we will allow God to come into us, whether we will allow ourselves to yield to the fact that He is the Creator and we are His creatures. God so loved the world that He did not abandon it to happenstance, to biology, to anything else, to our own undoing. He loved the world so much that He gave His only begotten Son, so that all who believe in Him, though we perish in the body, shall not ultimately perish, because God desires that we live with and enjoy Him now and forever. You and I have a challenge to be Bob Spencer and pick up those who are wayward and return them to those who have not realized that they may be in the process of losing what is most precious. May God give us strength, wisdom, courage in the facing of these days and all the days He gives us, no matter what they hold. you.